gates of Troy did not fall in a single night. They were tested again and again and again. The enemy did not beg for entry. They brought a battering ram, massive, relentless. Each strike shook the bronze from our bones. Stone groaned. Wood splintered. And with every impact, I felt the will of lesser men begin to fracture before the wall itself did. The ram did not kill us with speed. It killed us with repetition. The first strike startled the young. The 10th exhausted the strong. The 100th convinced the doubtful that the wall would not hold. And when doubt spread through the ranks, the gate became weaker than oak. It became flesh. I watched warriors abandon their posts not because the enemy had breached the city, but because the sound convinced them it would. The wall stood, but their minds had already fallen. And so the breach began inside the skull before it appeared in the stone. Now stand in your world. The gate is no longer cedar and iron. It is your focus, your discipline, your peace. And the ram has followed you into the modern age. It no longer shakes wood. It shakes attention. It pounds against you through opinions, headlines, insults, and endless digital demands for your eyes. The weapon has changed form. The siege has not. Your mind is the gate, and it is being tested every hour. I have stood on broken ramparts and watched men bleed out beneath the moon. But tonight, I stand inside a different ruin. A dim apartment, a blue-lit room. A man lies on his back, eyes fixed on a glowing screen, thumb moving like a soldier digging his own grave. No blood stains his body. Yet he is hemorrhaging something far more precious. He tells himself he is resting. He tells himself he deserves this silence, but this is not silence. This is surrender disguised as comfort. Each scroll is another strike against his inner gate. Each notification another reminder that his attention no longer belongs to him. In Troy, a warrior who abandoned the wall would be dragged back in shame. Today, no one drags you back. No commander shouts your name. You desert your post quietly. You abandon your watch for flickers of validation from strangers who would not stand beside you in a storm. I walk through this age unseen, bronze armor reflecting city light, and I see legions of men bleeding without wounds. They are pierced by comparison, cut by opinion, drained by distraction. And the most dangerous part is this: they call it normal. If you can hear my voice through the noise, then you are not lost yet. Join the silent legion. Stand with those who choose discipline over comfort. And report your position in the comments below. Tell me the city from which you stand watch tonight. The siege is global. I want to know where my sentinels remain awake. In Troy, the enemy did not only strike our gates. They shouted from beyond the walls. They mocked our armor. They cursed our bloodlines. They called us cowards while hiding behind their own shields. Their words were meant to weaken the arm before the weapon ever touched it. Young soldiers would grit their teeth. Some would shout back, some would tremble, but the veterans did not move. We understood a simple law of war. Noise is not force. Only impact is force. And sound cannot break stone unless the stone believes it can. I watched one man lose his composure because an enemy commander spat in his direction. That single insult shattered his discipline. He broke formation to charge alone. His shield left the phalanx. A gap opened, not wide, not dramatic, just enough. That was all the enemy needed. He died not from a superior blade, but from wounded pride. The breach began in his ego before it appeared in our line. Now I walk your streets and I see the same weakness dressed in modern armor. A stranger types a sentence. A faceless voice questions your worth. A comment mocks your ambition. And you feel it. Your pulse shifts. Your focus fractures. You replay it in your skull as if it were prophecy. You do not realize what you are doing. You are lowering your shield to inspect the insult. You are stepping out of formation to answer a ghost. And while you argue with shadows, your mission stands unguarded. Understand this: an opinion is not a weapon unless you volunteer to hold it. An insult is not a spear unless you guide it into your own chest. The modern battlefield is psychological. The loudest enemy is rarely the strongest, only the most desperate to be seen. In Troy, we survived by locking shields and facing forward. We did not debate the enemy, we endured him. If you wish to build a wall of will, you must learn the same discipline. Let them doubt. Hold formation. When the sun fell beyond the Aegean, the enemy did not sleep. Night was their favorite ally. Under darkness, they tested our vigilance. Small probes, sudden clashes, stones hurled from unseen hands. They did not aim to conquer in one strike. They aimed to exhaust the sentinel until his eyes betrayed him. Fatigue was their strategy. A guard who fears the dark imagines enemies where none stand. A guard who stares too long into the sky forgets to watch the gate. And that is how night raids succeed, not through strength, but through distraction. Now look at your world. The assault no longer comes with torches and ladders. It comes through a glowing screen in your palm. Alerts, messages, endless signals demanding your sight. They fall like cold rain on your mind, not fatal alone, but relentless. Every vibration is a whisper. Look here. React now. Answer this. Defend yourself. Compare yourself. You lift your eyes from your labor. You abandon your post for a flicker. And while you chase the sky, your foundation weakens beneath you. This is the digital rain. It does not stab, it erodes. It keeps you alert to everything except your own mission. It trains your nervous system to live in anticipation rather than execution. You become reactive. And a reactive warrior is already cornered. The wall of will is not built from stone. It is built from refusal, the refusal to check, the refusal to answer immediately, the refusal to let every sound dictate your movement. Silence is not passive. Silence is dominance. In Troy, the strongest sentinels mastered stillness. They chose when to move. They chose when to strike. If you want to survive this age, you must do the same. Turn off what does not serve the mission. Schedule your battles. Guard your attention like sacred territory. Because the man who controls his focus controls the field. When Troy burned, the loudest men died first. They wanted to be seen. They wanted their names carried on the wind. They stepped beyond the shield line for glory, for recognition, for the illusion of importance. The fire found them quickly. The ones who endured longest were different. They did not shout. They did not posture. They anchored themselves to duty. They became stone within the storm, unmoved, unimpressed, unreachable. In your age, the hunger to be seen is stronger than the fear of defeat. You measure your worth in views, approval, applause from strangers. You expose your plans before they are built. You broadcast your ambition before it has muscle. And every eye upon you becomes another pressure against your gate. To build a wall of will, you must become untouchable. Not arrogant, not cold, untouchable in focus. Let them overlook you. Let them underestimate you. Move in silence while others perform for shadows. Strength does not announce itself. It accumulates. Become a ghost to the noise. Care less about being visible and more about being immovable. When the world cannot hook your attention, it cannot command your direction. And when nothing can command you, you stand like a sentinel carved from iron within your own mind. The siege will not end. The ram will not tire. The noise will not apologize. If you wait for the world to grow quiet before you grow strong, you will wait until your gates collapse. This is not an age of peace. It is an age of pressure. And pressure reveals what is hollow. Shut it out. Build your wall. Guard your mind as if a city depends on it, because it does. Your future stands behind that gate. Your family stands behind it. Your discipline stands behind it. Do not negotiate with noise. Stand fast. Lock shields with your own will. Let the world pound against stone that does not answer.